Just imagine this for a second. It's August 23rd, 1989. 2 million people are holding hands, forming a human chain that stretches for over 675 kilometers, an unbroken line. And here's the thing. They weren't shouting. They were singing. This one incredible act of unity was part of a revolution that would bring down an empire, not with guns or bombs, but with song.
So yeah, this is the story of Lithuania. It's a nation whose history is this powerful lesson in resilience. A story about being a continental superpower, about being completely erased from the map, and about being reborn through the incredible will of its people.
To really get a handle on the spirit of modern Lithuania, you first have to understand the sheer scale of what was lost.
It's a really good question, right? And the answer takes us deep into the past, to a time when Lithuania wasn't some small Baltic state, but a giant that was literally shaping the future of Europe. We're going way back to an era of grand dukes, of vast frontiers, a time when the name Lithuania commanded respect and power all across the continent.
Okay, so you have its unification in the 13th century, and from there it just grew at this astonishing rate. By the 14th century, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania was the biggest country in all of Europe. It even formed a powerful commonwealth with Poland, a real beacon of prosperity. And then, poof, in 1795, it vanished, just carved up by its neighbors and wiped off the map.
And to put that into perspective, at its peak, the Grand Duchy was bigger than modern-day France. It stretched all the way from the Baltic Sea down to the Black Sea. This wasn't just a country, it was basically an empire. So its disappearance, that was a profound, deep historical trauma.
So for nearly 200 years, Lithuania existed only in memories, in its language, in stories. But then in the late 20th century, the embers of that old identity just roared back to life in the most incredible way.
And look, it didn't just happen overnight. It was this incredibly well-organized and totally peaceful movement. First, you had the St. Judas reform movement, which reawakened the sense of national pride. That led to the Baltic Way, that unbelievable human chain we started with. And all that momentum led directly to a bold, defiant declaration.
On this day, March 11, 1990, Lithuania's elected council took a huge risk, voting to restore their independence.
Think about that. They were the very first Soviet republic to break away. They sent a crack right through the foundation of the USSR and inspired so many others to follow. I mean, what an act of courage.
So who is this country that rose from the ashes? Well, this is where the story gets really interesting, because it's a nation of these amazing contrasts. On one hand, you could really feel its ancient soul. Lithuania is just woven into nature. A third of the entire country is covered in dense forest, and its landscape, dotted with thousands of lakes, it just feels timeless.
But here's the twist. This same land of ancient forests is also a global high-tech powerhouse. Lithuanian companies absolutely dominate the world market for these ultra-precise things called femtosecond lasers. We're talking tech that's used in everything from eye surgery to advanced science. It's a nation with one foot in its primeval past and the other stepping firmly into the future. And you see this resilience literally woven into the culture itself. The Lithuanian language, it's considered the most conservative, the most ancient living Indo-European language, a direct link to a distant past. You're seeing a revival of old pre-Christian pagan traditions. You can even taste it in their unique farmhouse beer, a tradition that goes back 1,000 years.
And it's that same deep-rooted identity that really set the stage for its incredible economic boom. After breaking free from that centrally planned Soviet system, the nation's skilled, educated workforce was unleashed. Propelled by joining the EU in 2004, Lithuania's economy just transformed. It became one of the Baltic tigers, and today it's classified as a high-income, advanced economy. Okay, so we've got a nation that vanished and came back, a land of ancient traditions and cutting-edge technology. But there is one last incredible fact that kind of ties this whole story together.
You know, if you had to pick one word to describe the Lithuanian story, it's got to be resilience. That toughness to endure and the ability to not just recover from difficulties, but to reinvent yourself completely.
Now get this. In 1989, the very same year that 2 million people were linking hands to demand their freedom, some scientists at the French National Geographic Institute were working on a completely different puzzle. They wanted to find the exact geographical heart of Europe. And what they found was just astonishing.
The geographical center of Europe isn't in Germany or Poland or Austria. No, it's right there, in a small forest in Lithuania. Not on the end of the continent, but its literal, scientifically proven heart.
Is just such a powerful metaphor, isn't it? A nation that was once the largest in Europe, then disappeared from the map, now finds itself right at its very center. It's a story that's a real testament to the idea that a resilient spirit can not only survive being forgotten, but can rise again to reclaim its place at the heart of the world.